Your sad girl era, it ends today.
Emptied out my soul. You've heard it all before. Honest, but I know.
These are 5 habits that will help make you a happier person, help you have a better outlook on life. Trust me, I have been in my fair share of little slumps. These are all habits and little things that I've incorporated in my lifestyle that have helped me really just drag myself out of that slump, out of that low point in my life. Number 1 habit is walking outside or getting some natural light, some sunlight first thing in the morning. First of all, vitamin D is essential to our happiness, our mood, and our overall health. Getting natural vitamin D from the sun is the best way to get vitamin D. Just recently was listening to a podcast, and it's with a neuroscientist. He's a professor at Oxford, and he's a specialist in circadian rhythms and setting your body clock. And he talked about how getting some sun first thing in the morning helps your circadian rhythm and setting your internal clock so much, which leads to better sleep, which leads to a happier you. It helps you feel energized. It helps you adjust your sleeping schedule, especially if you're trying to wake up earlier. And also there's just something nice about getting outside, about breathing the fresh air, feeling the breeze, being in touch with nature. Get outside first thing in the morning. Don't even think about it. Especially if you're having a hard time building momentum in the mornings and being motivated, just get outside for 10 minutes. Step 1, first thing you have to do. Second habit is limiting your social media time. Girl, I know it's not easy. I know we love our 2 a.m. TikTok doom scrolling, but so many studies have already proven how detrimental social media is to our mental health. And I'm not gonna tell you to just delete all your social media accounts and never be on it and like live under a rock, because that's not realistic. But setting some kind of limit will do wonders for your mental health. With social media, we have an instant dopamine source right at our fingertips. It's like pulling a lever and getting that hit of dopamine. The problem with that is that it desensitizes you. Dopamine and feel-good chemicals that you would get from working out, from hitting your goals, from just doing things for yourself, it doesn't feel as good anymore because you're so used to getting that dopamine hit from social media, and then it becomes harder to be happy. And I have tried setting like screen time limits on my iPhone, and that never works because I'm always like, ignore limit, ignore. And then I actually recently got an ad for an app called Opal, and Opal's basically kind of like a firewall that you set for yourself for the apps. But what makes it different than like the regular screen time limiting is that it's not easy to just skip. So once you set a certain time limit to block the apps, they are blocked. In order to unblock them, you have to go through like a series of steps that at that point, you're just kind of like, screw it, I'm just not gonna use the app. So it just makes it less accessible to you. Instead of setting an app limit for the whole day, that's really difficult for me because I work on TikTok and on Instagram. So I have certain times where those apps are off limits. So in the mornings and after 9 p.m., I'm not allowed to go on those apps. Anything I need to do on those apps has to be done beforehand. Look at the difference in my screen times before I started like kind of setting up the firewall and after. And I have noticed a big difference in my happiness, my productivity levels. You can also set specific sessions. So sometimes when I need to really focus on a project that I don't need social media for, I'll kind of set like a focus session where I'm not allowed to use those apps. Sometimes during my workouts, like between sets, I will get on TikTok and Instagram and it'll make my workout longer. So sometimes when I work out, I'll just do a workout session so I could just get through my workout without distracting myself and making it last forever. Another good idea is to have a dopamine detox day once a week. So let's say Sunday, you just have a whole 24 hours without any apps like social media apps, just to give your brain a little hard reset when it comes to like those dopamine levels. Before we go into tip number 3, I want to shout out our sponsor, Women's Best. From supplements to activewear, they have everything I need to make my fitness journey fun, cute, and enjoyable. I'm so proud to have them as a sponsor because they truly care about what we want, which is to look good and to feel good. The Essential Collection is my absolute favorite collection, especially for Pilates, and they do have new colors for the Power Collection. So you want to get your hands on these before they sell out. And it just makes me so happy to see how many of you guys have discovered Women's Best through me, because I truly love this brand and I know how much you guys love them as well. So if you want to shop anything, supplements, the new colors, the activewear, you can do so by using my promo code Vicky, and that saves a little bit of extra money at checkout. So if you want to do that, the link is in my description. Habit number 3 to make you a happy human being is journaling. Now, there are many different ways to journal, and I have struggled my whole life to truly make journaling a habit, okay? Journaling helps you come back to yourself and just get anything that's going on in your mind out of your mind and onto the paper. And there are, as I mentioned, different ways to journal, and I'll kind of go over the different ways that I journal that helps me sort my mind out and just feel like myself again. So there are times where I'm feeling really, really anxious, and before I go to sleep, my thoughts are just racing. And there are times where I wake up in the morning, and in the morning, as soon as I open my eyes, it's like one thought after another. I have to do this, I have to do that. Oh my God, I can't forget this. It's literally like a train wreck. In those cases, I really like to do something called a morning dump, and it's something my therapist recommended that I do. And basically you have to write by hand, and it's just 3 empty pages, and you have to fill out those pages front and back. Without a direction in mind, you just write each thought as it comes out of you. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to go in order. It doesn't matter how disorganized it is. The point is to just put it somewhere and not let it stay trapped in here. Another form of journaling is gratitude journaling, which is pretty self-explanatory. Gratitude journaling is something that when you first start doing it, if you're not used to writing down like what you're grateful for, a gratitude list, it's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel foreign. You might struggle to find things that you feel grateful for. You might struggle to really get into it and feel it, you know? Every single thing that you say that, or you write down that you're grateful for, really try to like imagine your life without that person or without that thing. Like imagine how you would feel without it, and then just allow yourself to feel the gratitude. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does take a few days to get there. So in our annual planner that we launched on Daily Thrive, I do have like the daily little gratitude journal on a weekly basis. So for the week, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so that it makes it easier for you to incorporate as part of your routine. And finally, the last form of journaling, and my favorite form of journaling, is a guided journal. And that's the reason I really wanted to launch the guided journal that we did on Daily Thrive earlier this year. It's the only way that actually got me to like really journal. I feel like I need direction. I can't just like sit down and write. I feel like I need a prompt. I feel like there's something that I need to answer. It just helps me to have a direction of where to go. And I created a 180-page journal prompt, so you can answer them daily, and it's like a 6-month guided journal, or you can answer them every other day, and that way it's like a yearly journal. And they are like separated into sections, but these questions are deep and they are powerful, and they really get down to the nitty-gritty of what it is that you want from life, what it is that you want from yourself, what it is that you want to work on. It's basically like taking yourself out on a date. The questions that you would ask when you're getting to know someone, when you want to marry someone, when you fall in love with someone, these are the questions that you ask, but you're asking them to yourself. And I think it's a pretty beautiful thing. Something I look forward to doing at the end of the day, whether you are a student or a mom or whatever your position in life is. We're so accustomed to putting other people's needs before ours. We get used to doing things for other people and meeting their needs, but what about our own needs? So just a simple journaling practice helps you come back to yourself and helps you realize, shit, like I am important, like I have my own needs that I need to meet as well. It's not just about other people. Habit number 4, doing something for someone else at least a few times a week, I would say. This can be a kind gesture or something as simple as expressing gratitude to someone else, telling someone you love them, showing your appreciation for them, getting them a small like gift that made you think of them. When you get to make someone else happy, it fills you with purpose, and then that energy is infectious. Like seeing someone light up because of something you did, I don't know, it just kind of makes whatever problems you're currently dealing with feel like not as significant as you thought, and it helps you build a form of community. You know, relationships are important to our happiness and our well-being, and sometimes we have to be the ones to step forward and nurture them. We can't always wait for other people to come in and do things for us. Sometimes it's good to be selfless and just do something nice for someone else instead of like obsessing over what's making you upset or obsessing over your own problems. And habit number 5, I wouldn't really say it's a habit, it's just something that I kind of forget to do, and it's having a feel-good playlist, or a playlist of songs that make you happy, that make you just get in touch with yourself. Music is so powerful, and I personally forget the power of it. And then I hear a specific song that makes me feel happy, makes me feel good, and it's crazy how fast your mood can shift if you just allow yourself to get lost in the music. And I have created a few playlists. I do have a playlist on Spotify with feel good music. I will link it down in the description below. Get up in the morning, go outside, okay? Get some of that vitamin D, get some nature, get some sun, but also have a go-to playlist that you can just put on and set the vibe for your day. So you can do those things at the same time, okay? We're multitasking queens over here. This is an amazing tool. Like, music literally changes our brains at your fingertips, so why not use it? And yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up my top tips to get out of a funk. So let's review, shall we? Getting outside, getting vitamin D, very, very important. Limiting your social media time. I know it's hard, I know, but it will be so good for you. And just think about what you can do with all those hours, like how much you can grow, how much you can learn about topics that interest you. Journaling is something that you can easily do in the mornings or in the evenings. It really doesn't have to take up that much of your time, and it doesn't even really have to be every single day, but just a few times a week to help you come back to yourself. Doing something for someone else, a kind deed, and finally, music. So if these tips were helpful for you, please let me know in the comment down below. If you want to add anything onto the list to help other people watching this video, please do so in the comments. I'm also always looking for ideas whenever I get back into my little sad girl era. You know, we gotta pull ourselves out. Thank you so much for watching. For more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to connect with me on the gram and be my friend, you can do that on Vicky Justiz. I post about my life, about mental health, wellness, and all my fitness content goes on my fitness Instagram. So if you want to follow both, you can absolutely do that. I look forward to seeing you there, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't be sad. Try these tips. You got this.